Hello, welcome back to another artist spotlight on Jim Aparo. Near the end of his run on Aquaman, Jim Aparo. Hello, welcome back to another artist spotlight on Jim Aparo. Near the end of his run on Aquaman, he started to work on Phantom Stranger, and unlike Aquaman, where the color palettes that was used in those issues was very vibrant and looked beautiful, I think his art is exceptional in the Phantom Stranger series, but the darker tone somehow I feel muted the beauty of the art a little bit, just a little bit. I almost prefer if the art was just pure black and white, so that we can truly appreciate the lines. But let's go through it, okay? It is fantastic. I really enjoy the artwork in this issue. I just wish that either the color was more vibrant, or it's just pure black and white. So check this out. Beautiful work. And I think the same thing can be said with his Batman work. I probably would use those issues in a different video, but his work on Batman, especially Brave and the Bold, is fantastic. But once again, the color palette that's used in those Batman issues is very similar to what's going on with his work here. Look at the detail. Beautiful work. What do you think? I wonder if other people feel the same way about the color issues as I brought up. Like occasionally, as you can see, they put in some vibrant color, but I wish that was used more instead of what we see in a typical panel. When you have that kind of coloring, I felt that it muddled up the art. It make it more dull, if that makes any sense. In black and white, I think his line would pop more. That's like classic Aparo facial feature right there. And for the most part, his these books are fairly inexpensive if you never read Phantom Stranger. Sure, anything that's high grade is not going to be cheap, but I think even in high grade, the Phantom Stranger run with Neil Adams cover are probably more affordable than, say, Batman or Detective. Jim Aparo is quite, trying to find the right word. He's not Jack Kirby fast, but for somebody that do the penciling and inking, just look at that. Can you imagine this panel in black and white? I think it would look so much better. For somebody that does his own inking, for him to be able to work on multiple titles each month, that says a lot. So he's fast and good. Lots of detail. Okay, lots of detail. Look at that. That's a gauge of how I look at, you know, how much an author put in as far as effort. Just look at the water, the wave. Okay, that's a lot of extra work on the panels on things that are not considered important. You know, this is the kind of lines that I love to see Jim Aparo. You know, it's so very tight. His inking is just so precise at the right places. It's not always very fine line, but you know, as with most good artists, sometimes they are very good inker as well, and when they can ink their own work and have the sufficient time to do so, the result is quite good. Okay, that's the end of this book. Okay, let's jump to the next one. Next up is issue 8. This gorgeous New Adams cover. Let's jump right in. And I rarely hear people talk about Jim Aparo work in Phantom Stranger. You know, most people probably pay more attention to his work on Batman related titles, but trust me, you will not be disappointed. Look at this double page. Check this out. And shortly, you know, after he took over the work on Phantom Stranger, he started to do also Brave and the Bold. So, you know, it would be a treat to be a Jim Aparo fan back in those early days, because, you know, shortly after he hit the scene, he was in many titles, showcasing his talent. And you know, if you have time to go through these books and read the letter page, you will see that, you know, he got pretty good reception from the fans. You know, a lot of people were sad to see, you know, Nick Cardy leaving Aquaman, but when Jim took over, I think the love was there for him fairly quickly. People didn't mind that much that he took over Aquaman, I don't think. Sure, there's always, you know, some people that has some nostalgia for Nick Cardy, but Nick Cardy did stick around for Aquaman to do a lot of covers, so you get the best of both worlds. Look at that. Check out this action sequence. How about this beautiful page? Look at that. Love, love, love this full page. Look at that. Beautiful. Another double page spread, as you can see. That's the end. Lovely, lovely work, don't you think so? I do. Let's go one more. One more. Another great Neal Adams cover. Issue 14. Check this out. Classic Aparo face right there. You know, Jim Aparo, one thing that if you notice and pay attention, he used this angle, you know, this view behind a person quite often. It's a great, you know, great angle. I mean, every artist have their favorite angle, you know, like Gil Kane with the underneath the nose angle. But look at this, another double page. The man with no heart. Look at that. You know, I actually enjoyed the story in Phantom Stranger more than many other DC horror. You know, every time I talk DC horror with other collectors, you know, I always tell them that, you know, when it comes down to like, you know, House of Secret, House of Mystery, sure, those are great books, mostly because they have great covers by either Neal Adams or Nick Cardy or Bernie Wrightson. But I can't say that I'm a fan of many of those stories, but Phantom Stranger is decent. Check out this beautiful panel, huh? Like I said, it would have been awesome in black and white. Because the stories in Phantom Stranger is actually a full story, not a 6-page or 8-page short story as you see in most House of Secret or House of Mystery or other DC horrors. This is, you get the full story. It's just too hard to come up with a great story when it's like 6 or 8 pages, in my opinion. But that's just me. that's the end. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this series on Jim Aparo. Bye-bye.